Before anybody wonders, yes, I do play the saxophone, and no, that is not me in the picture. Hello, welcome back to Spiralbound Speculation. I've been seeing a couple of booktubers make mid-year book freakout tags. I believe that's the term. I am not going to do that, but I'm going to do something very similar to it. Basically, how I want to separate my reading seasons, I guess, is books that I read during the school year is going to be one season, and books that I read during the summer is going to be another season, and rinse and repeat. I recently finished my school year, so I thought I'd go through all the books I read. Not all the books I read, but see if some of the books match into the mid-year book freakout tag, if I can name some books. Yeah, I have not scripted this. I have not thought about this at all before this video. Barely looked at the questions, so it's gonna be mostly raw, unfiltered thought processing, I guess. That probably kind of looks a little suspicious. I just have one of these. Let's see if I can get it out. One of these, I don't know what they're called, like art design people, and it's just hanging by my Christmas lights, so don't worry about that. Okay, our first category, best books you've read so far. Best book you've read so far. What would that be? Oh, I think I'd say Sadie by Courtney Summers. I'm not a fan of mystery, and this is a mystery, which is kind of funny. But it is so good. I listened to the audiobook with it, and it was just so enticing. And yeah, just how the audiobook was recorded, along with like obviously the words, it just made it so interesting. And yeah, it actually took me kind of a while to read. I took a break from it, but like after I had taken a break, like the second half of the book I finished in such a short amount of time. It actually ended up winning the Nutmeg High School Book Award, which is crazy and pretty cool. And yes, I highly recommend that. Speaking of, I actually am planning on doing a series during the summer called like Nostalgic Nutmegs or something, where basically I just read a lot of Nutmeg nominees. It'll probably be rereads. I probably wouldn't read books that I've like really recently read, like All the Right Places, Solo, Symptoms of Being Human, but like, yeah, I did read a lot back in the day, so I'll be rereading those. I may also add in there, thinking about it, Nutmeg nominees that I never got around to for 2022. Those include Fountain of Silence and A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and I may even start on the 2023 Nutmegs. I actually have read one of those so far called Flamer, I believe by Mike Curado. It was a graphic novel, but yes. Okay. So yes, best book I've read so far would be Sadie by Courtney Summers. Best sequel you've read so far. Okay, so I have only read 2 sequels this season. I read the sequel to The Savage Song, which is the last book in the Monsters of Verity series by V.E. Schwab, as well as Dear Justice by Nick Stone, which is the book after Dear Martin. Funnily enough, if that's a word, is funnily a word, I don't know. I really liked the first books of both of those series, and the second books were extreme disappointments. So, kind of embarrassing. Yeah, I don't like either of the sequels. Dear Justice and Our Dark Duet were not very good compared to the first one, or just as a book in general. So yeah, I can't answer that one. Yeah. Okay, new release you haven't read yet but want to. I don't really keep up with like new releases really. I have recently been getting a lot of books, and I do have a lot of books that I want to read. A book that I recently bought that I want to read, I'd say The Duology of Aristotle and Dante. It's by Benjamin O'Leary Sons. A booktuber named A Clockwork Reader recommended it to me. I bought the box sets, and yeah, I really want to read those. I hope to read them near the beginning of the summer, and since summer has just started, basically, I'm planning on reading them very soon. Sorry, there's like a fly in my room. Hopefully, it won't fly into the shots. Okay, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Again, not, I don't know. I don't really keep up with new releases. There is the final book of a series I really like called Children of Blood and Bone that is coming out, I believe, actually next year. And I really, really want to read that. So yeah, that's a book that hasn't come out that I really want to read, but yeah, not this year. Biggest disappointment, okay. I'd say maybe potentially Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. It was very boring at some points, and I have wanted to read this book for a very, very, very long time. And yeah, it was a letdown in that regard, but it was still kind of interesting. And the ending was like, oh, and also the beginning, I really liked. It's like it has one of the best like first sentences I've ever read. Do you want to hear them? No? Okay, I'll read them anyway. I had just come to accept that my life would be ordinary when extraordinary things began to happen. The first of these came as a terrible shock, and like anything that changes you forever, split my life into halves, before and after. Like many of the extraordinary things to come, it involved my grandfather, Abraham Portman. I also got the chance to watch the movie, and like I compared and contrast both of them. That video will be coming out soon, and yeah. That was a disappointment. Runner up, I'd say maybe Macbeth. I read Macbeth for school this year, and I didn't like it only because it was very confusing. I had read Much Ado About Nothing before this, and I really liked that. And yeah, this was just more confusing, and I didn't care as much. And I thought I had like got Shakespeare pegged. I'd love everything I wrote by him, and Macbeth proved me wrong. So bittersweet about that. Next one is biggest surprise. Biggest surprise. Positive or negative surprise, that's a real question. But let's say it's a biggest surprise that I just really liked. I'd say... I guess while we're talking about school books, I did not really expect to like The Stranger, I guess, as much as I did. I don't know, I didn't have anything against it, and it was, yeah, I literally read it in a day, because it was due the next day. I did make a video about that, which will release sometime. So yeah, I think The Stranger was surprising, I guess. It wasn't, like, that surprising. I didn't have, like, big surprises, but yeah, I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. Next we have favorite new author. I don't really read that many books by the same authors. I would say, I guess, Evie Zaboy. She edited this book, this anthology called Black Enough, which I recently just finished filming a video for. And I also read her book called Pride earlier this year, which is a modernization of Pride and Prejudice, about if, I guess, like everybody was black and living in New York. And I did like that, so yeah. And yeah, I do like her writing style. Okay. Newest fictional crush. I don't have crushes. Not that much, anyway. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there are some characters in Black Enough that I really liked. Potentially somebody from there. But, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'll get back to you if I think of any. Okay. Newest favorite character. Newest favorite character. August from this Savage song. August is great. August is great. And yeah, this Savage song and our Dark Duet. I love August. Outside of that, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, there were a lot of characters that I liked. I mean, once I edit the videos, that I filmed. About different various characters. I'll get back to you on that. Oh, I also like Maddie from The Field Guide to the North American Teenager by Ben Philippe. Yes. Um, yeah, okay. Next we have Books That Made You Cry. No book has made you cry. Besides, or this year definitely, or this season definitely, a book that has made me cry is Orbiting Jupiter by Gary D. Schmidt. I really like that book. Made me emotional, let's say. I don't know. None of them really. I promise I'm not just a hollow shell, but like right now I can't think of any. Book that made me happy. Uh, uh, I can't not do it. Can You Be Happy for 100 Days in a Row by Dimitri. I'm gonna botch up this last name. Golubnichi. I got this for my birthday. Basically, it gives you 100 challenges. You're supposed to do one a day. I did not do it 100 days in a row, but yeah. It did. Some of them made me happy, so yeah, that was nice. Okay, most beautiful book that you've bought? Beautiful as in looks the nicest? I do love the cover of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I also like the cover of, don't fall. The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, which I also read. This is also not my nominee. Oh no, it's toppling. Oh, obviously, oh my goodness, I'm so embarrassed. And this Epic song. Oh my goodness, look at that cover, look at that cover. And also our Dark Duet, really. Look at that cover, look at that cover. It's so great. Okay, so books you need to read by the end of the year. For me, that's going to be the end of the season, so by the end of summer, I do want to read a couple of series. I think series are really the best time to read. Summer is really the best time to read series. I want to read the Aristotle and Dante duology, as well as the Shadow and Bone trilogy, as well as the King of Scars duology, as well as this isn't really a series, but I want to read Tweak by Nick Sheff and Beautiful Boy by David Sheff. Their father and son. Maybe the series Unfortunate Events series. I do want to binge watch the Netflix adaptation. Then maybe I can compare and make that a video as well. And those are all the things in the freakout. So yes, thank you so much. I will definitely make a video talking about a little bit about every single book that I've read this season so far. Not so far. This season is ending. Excuse me, because it's the end of the school year. And I'll start a new one. And I'll talk about that. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of this. We got some recommendations. Please stick around. I have been noticing that, like, the videos that I've posted about Degrassi, where I just consolidate all my favorite clips, have been getting a lot more views than my book videos. But I promise the content is the same. Okay, let's be honest, Degrassi is better, but I'm, like, right there. Degrassi is, like, here, and I'm, like, right here. We're very, 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 very close. And there's a bug that keeps flying around, and it's really distracting me. There it is. Okay, bye.